National Nutrition Week. Is the slide is visible?
Yes, sir, it is, sir.
Okay, it's full screen now, eh? It is full screen?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, okay. So we are celebrating National Nutrition Week for the year 2020. It is National Nutrition Week annually from the year 1982 in India. It is being celebrated on annual basis. So as to get awareness about the nutrition. So there are in India, country like India, so nutrition, there is malnutrition is there in India because generally the peoples, they understand what is nutrition, what are nutrients, but is there is any connection between the health management and nutrition. So nutrition gives you nutrients, and nutrients are required for the daily routine of your human body. Human body performs various activity, so nutrients are helpful or nutrients are important to get the work done by the human body. So we can't forget or we can't uh, ignore the nutrients or quantity of the nutrients which we require on our daily basis. So therefore, the National Nutrition Week is celebrated throughout India for the awareness of the nutrition. Coming to the nutrition. So as we all know what is nutrition. So nutrition is, as per the science, it is science of food and its relationship with the health. So it is concerned primarily with the part played by nutrients in body growth, development and maintenance. So the food which we get is from animal origin as well as from vegetable origins. So these foods are classified on the basis of its chemical composition are proteins, fats, carbohydrates, vitamins and minerals. So these classification are again on the basis of its predominant function. Carbohydrates, proteins, fats and other vitamins they perform. Like bodybuilding foods such as meat, milk, poultry, fish, eggs, pulses, they are called as bodybuilding foods. When you take these foods, then it maintains the body or it helps in the growth of your body. Energy giving foods, when you take such foods like cereals, sugars, fats, oils, it gives you energy. And some foods are protective, for example vegetables, fruits, meals. Why it is known as protective? When as we go through the slides, through the journey of these slides, then we can uh, guess what do you mean by protective foods that vegetables are. And nutrients, as we know, the food gives us nutrients. So nutrients, these are the organic and inorganic complexes contained in food that we consume on the daily basis. So these nutrients are classified on the basis of macronutrients and micronutrients. So these are macronutrients, as the macro itself indicates it, the nutrients required in a large amount, they are macro, and the nutrients which are required in a smaller amount, that is a micro. So macronutrients are generally taken and which is required by the body in a large quantity, large amount in grams, like proteins, fats and carbohydrates. Micronutrients such as vitamins and minerals, they are required in a microgram quantity. So it is micronutrients. So if we know everything, but today we are going to discuss about the role of these nutrients, what we are going to discuss, and its relation to the body or health management. We are nowadays facing many challenges with respect to health. We can call it as lifestyle disorders or any diseases which relates to its genetic disorder. The causes are very much different, but there are, when you go to the root of any disease, then you can see the nutrients perform very much important role for maintenance of the body growth and maintenance of your normal health of your human body. So just brief about proteins. As we know, everyone, proteins, we study the proteins. Proteins are, these are the monomers, made up of monomers of amino acids. It is chain of basically amino acids linked. They are classified non-essential amino acids and essential amino acids by observing their functions. That 12 non-essential amino acids are, they are manufactured or they are biosynthesized in the human body itself, and 8 are essential because it has to be taken from the dietary source. So that means it is essential, right? So proteins are basically, it is every cell of our body is made up of from protein. So it is body building, or you can say it is uh, a basic unit of your body. So each and every cell needs to have protein. So according to RDA, or you can say it is a recommended dietary allowances, approximately 1 gram per kg of your body weight, it is the mandatory or recommended dose of protein which you should take on daily basis. On daily basis you should take, because proteins, these are the macronutrients which when you take, they get they get digested, they get absorbed into the body and get excreted throughout the body, but they will not store anywhere in the body. So on daily basis you should take. You are saying that matlab, if you are assuming that you are taking the proteins sometimes and you are not taking the proteins, so you are taking the proteins through the your food intake. So you must know which food gives you protein and which food on daily basis you are taking the proteins. As if, for example, I tell you, if man of 60 kg weight, so approximately he or she needs to take 60 gram of protein on daily basis. If you calculate whatever amount of protein you are taking on daily basis by observing your intake of your food and calculate it, you can easily calculate it. So you will analyze that I am not taking whatever the RDA says about the protein. So that's why we are matlab, having the challenges, some health challenges. So we'll matlab, discuss about that later on. So this is all about the proteins. So what protein has function to do? So it performs the bodybuilding, it repairs and maintains the body tissues, and synthesis of bioactive substances and other vital molecules. So these are the basic functions of proteins. Coming to the fat, as we all know, most of the body contains 99% in the adipose tissue is in the form of triglycerides. Generally, adipose tissue constitutes between 10 and 15% of body weight. When you take 1 kg of adipose tissue, it corresponds to 7,700 kilocalorie of energy. So it is the source of energy. What are the fats? What are the functions of fats? So they are high energy food, providing as much as 9 kilocalorie for every gram. When you take 1 gram of fat, then it gives you 9 kilocalorie energy. Again, it has important function to perform, that is, it serves as a vehicle for fat soluble vitamins. Fat soluble vitamins like A, D, E, K, when you are taking, then you must have some fats in which it should get solubilized and perform their functions. And fat body supports some viscera such as heart, kidney, and intestine, and fat beneath the skin, which provides you insulation against cold. So it contains fat. So these are the some functions of fats. Coming to the requirements of fat, as per the recommendation, 20 to 30% of total dietary energy to be provided by the fats. So it is the recommendation with respect to the fat. Carbohydrates, as we all know, the carbohydrate source of carbohydrates, as you can see in the pictures. So there are banana, corn, many more, all the vegetables which contains carbohydrates. It is the main source of energy, as we can say. It provides 4 kilocalorie per 1 gram of carbohydrate. It is also essential for the oxidation of fats and for the synthesis of certain non-essential amino acids. What are the sources of carbohydrates? As we have seen in the picture, some of the vegetables which gives you source of carbohydrates. Some of the fruits are there. So basically, starches, sugars, and celluloses. So these are the basically main source of carbohydrates, which gives you energy. Dietary fibers. So as we can't forget the dietary fibers which we should require on daily basis. What are these dietary fibers? For example, if generally we should take on daily basis when you have meal, then along with meal you must have included along with meal salad you must include. Why it is called that you must have salad while having meals? Because it contains salad, for example, some fruits and some cucumber, so carrots. So these are in the form of salads. We are consuming it because it contains fibers. So some vegetables, fruits, and grains, they are rich in fibers, and you can't forget or you can't, matlab, you must take the dietary fibers so as to fulfill your requirements of body. Otherwise, some health challenges like hemorrhoids or piles you must, matlab, get. So if you want to get rid out of that health challenges, you must have dietary fibers. That is sort of prevention. I must say. Coming to the vitamins. So vitamins, as we know, these are the organic compounds categorized as essential nutrients. It is classified on its solubility basis. It is fat soluble and water soluble. The fat soluble vitamins are like A, D, E, and K, and water soluble vitamins are B and C. So I will not go in much detail about what A, D, E, and K. We will just have a look what is the purpose of today's this webinar is to have a knowledge about the nutrition and what is its role in the management of health challenges or health. What are the relation of nutrition and the current scenario of challenges, health challenges? Is there any relation with nutrition? Yes, it is relation. So we have to take care of it, or we have to take note of it. So we are going for that. Before, along with nutrition, we must have, or we must do some exercise, as we all know, but we should not uh, follow that. That is, we should not do the exercise on daily basis. Sometimes we do. So it is essential. Everyone says, but no one follows. So what are the benefits? As we all know, what are the problems or health challenges we are getting nowadays? It is because we are lacking in exercises. As the COVID-19 situation, we are going through this. So it exercises stimulates, or exercises enhance the immune system, as we know. If anyone who is fit, who is doing the physical exercise, that means he is fit enough. Means he has enhancement in its immune. He has some trouble is there. Okay. So what are the benefits? So weight loss is one of the benefit. Lower blood pressure, stronger bones, and decreased risk of osteoporosis. Elevated level of good HDL cholesterol. If anyone does not know or is not aware about the good HDL cholesterol, then we will see later on. Then bad LDL cholesterol, then decreased level of triglycerides, increased strength and coordination, enhancement of the immune system, overall increase in one's sense of well-being. So if we are doing the exercise on daily basis along with the proper nutrition, then we stay healthy. Coming to the diet. So as we know what about the eating habits, and generally physicians also emphasize their patients who should eat a low fat diet, which includes at least 7 servings of fruits and vegetables daily. As I'm remembering that if there is one saying that one apple in a day keeps you away from a doctor. So that is the saying. Why it is so? because the same physicians also says that more than 7 colors you should eat in a day. 7 colors means maybe in the form of fruits, maybe in the form of vegetables. That colors means natural colors you should eat. What are the role of that natural colors? We are going to discuss later on. So what they get, they benefits you in the management of weight loss, a decreased risk of diabetes, a decreased risk of heart diseases, diabetes, heart diseases, almost all type of cancers, blood pressures, elevated cholesterols. So all these problems are created by us because we are not taking the right nutrition. Then I am just linking whatever the nutrition or the macronutrients or nutrients are there, linking to the health system, or what challenges we are having. I am trying to link that system with the nutrition what we should take. So first of all, the immune system. So for the immune system, that is our great protector, that our immune system guards us against viruses, bacteria, fungi, foreign proteins, and abnormal cancer cells. All know, but nowadays recently we are knowing it very much correctly because we are going through the situation, right? COVID situation. That's why we are understanding this immune system very correctly, right? So the nutrients, that is vitamin E. Vitamin E has the role to play in the immunity system, right? How it plays the role? Macrophages, these are the cells which engulf the foreign bacteria or virus, foreign material which is coming inside our body. So macrophages engulf that and digest that. So macrophages, these are the immunity cells, or it is involved in the immunity system. So when these macrophages that are deficient in vitamin E, which releases more free radicals and do not live as long. When these macrophages are deficient in vitamin E, then they will not live as long. So our immune system get down. So for the enhancement of immunity system, we must get vitamin E in a sufficient amount which is required, which gives you a better immunity. Vitamin E again performs another function, that is, it also affects the differentiation of our T cells in the thymus. This leads to an imbalance of T helper to T suppressor cells. So it has again, vitamin E has role to play. So I am trying to emphasizing this thing that vitamin E has to play role in immunity system, right? Another that carotenoid is the nutrient. When you supplement with the carotenoids, or when we are taking the food containing the carotenoids, then it increases the number and effectiveness of the T helper cells and natural killer cells against cancer cells. So ultimately, it again improving your immunity system. So vitamin C, as we all know, we should take vitamin C. Everyone is emphasizing that you should take vitamin C so as to increase the immunity system. We are taking also. So vitamin C has definitely role to play in immunity system, and it has the ability to regenerate vitamin E. And we know vitamin E has a role to play in immunity system. Again, next, glutathione. So we must take the supplementation with the precursors of glutathione, that is N-acetyl-L-system, selenium, niacin, and vitamin B12, so as to improve the formation of glutathione in the body. So it enhances the overall immunity system. Then coenzyme Q10. As we age, the coenzyme Q10 levels decline and make the mitochondria especially vulnerable to oxidative damage. So coenzyme Q10, or the food containing coenzyme Q10, we must take. Zinc. Just about every aspect of our immune system needs zinc. And deficiency actually suppresses several parts of our immune systems. So if we want to improve the immune system, then we should take the food which contains these nutrients. It is a vital part of our immune system. We should not we should take these nutrients, because if we are not supplementing our food containing these nutrients, so we are hampering our immunity system, and thereby we get any attack or any attack of virus or bacteria or anything. Then again, something I want to share with respect to nutrition, that is the cholesterol. As we know what is cholesterol, and that is the big culprit in the heart diseases, as we all know. But is it so that cholesterol, what was previously cholesterol was all about, when we see in the 18th century and 19th century, then what was basically principles in the 1972. In the year 1972, the cholesterol was considered, if it is less than 320, if it is less than 320, then it was considered as a normal. But in the year 1980s, physicians began to learn that about cholesterol, and they got information that it is not the cholesterol only. There is HDL and LDL is there. HDL, which is good cholesterol, and LDL is again bad cholesterol. So that was the impression of physicians or the researchers they had. But later on, upon studying, what happens? The LDL, we have studied LDL. Then LDL, basically it is not so bad. Our God has manufactured this LDL. So God creation is never a mistake. So it is not a bad. So why it is known as then bad? It is known as bad because what is happening, if you are not taking, if you see, the cholesterol is required for our body. If you see any organ of our body or bodybuilding, then each and every organ contains the fat that is made up from fat only. So that is cholesterol. So it is required for our body. But what happens when you are not taking the right food, so as to it is not giving you a cholesterol, which is LDL, then what is happening, if you are not getting the LDL, then body itself starts to manufacture it. So the body is manufacturing cholesterol by its own, then that cholesterol is bad, or that is harmful. Again, what is happening, that bad cholesterol, when it get oxidized by using the free radicals, then again it creates the bad, and that ultimately shows in the form of many diseases. So this is about the cholesterol. So what is happening here, that cholesterol is modifying, that is converted into a bad. So according to the, in 1989, there is one issue of the New England Journal of Medicine, Dr. Daniel Steinberg postulated that if patients had adequate antioxidants on board to kill oxidation. So it is happening because of oxidation. As we know, whatever we are eating, then it is metabolism is happening. Then upon metabolism or upon metabolism, what is happening? There are generation of free radicals. So that free radicals are very active one, and they attack onto our body or organs. So why they are attacking? Because they are very much active, like a child. So that's why it is harming our body system. So what we have to do? We have to take antioxidants. I deliberately put this green tea in front of you because LDL cholesterol is not bad, but the modified LDL cholesterol is bad. You remember, I remember personally 10 years back, and the tea ad was there. Like in tea ad, there was showing that the who actor ambassador who is showing that tea, he was saying that smell of a tea is something smell which attracts to drink the tea. But nowadays, what is the scene? If you see the red label ad, then in that ad, what Anupam Kher is saying, that actor, that he is saying that you drink tea and build your health. What does it mean? It means that you are taking the antioxidants. It contains flavonoids. Flavonoids indicates antioxidant property. That means if you are taking the fruits, vegetables, or green tea, or whatever from the nature colored, Whatever you are taking the colors inside your body, that fight against the oxidation, and which ultimately saves your damage of your health. So this is about the antioxidant. Okay, coming to the prevention. So whatever we have discussed in this cholesterol, what is cholesterol, what is the role of this cholesterol, is it harmful to our body? Yes, it is harmful. The LDL, how it is harmful, we have discussed about that. So what is the true prevention of this? True prevention is only to take antioxidants. There is no way out. So we must take antioxidant. So what are those antioxidants? Vitamin E, again we are talking about vitamin E. So we must know the sources of vitamin E. We must take the food source from which the vitamin E we should get, or we are getting a vitamin E. Vitamin E, vitamin C, glutathione. So these are the sources of vitamins. When we take what vitamin E does, it is the most important antioxidant when it comes to hindering the process of hardening of the arteries. Hardening of the arteries, when it hardens, then what happens? It again, it causes the disorders of heart related problems, right? So being a vitamin E, it is a fat soluble, it mixes up or it dissolves in a fat, right? And it performs its antioxidant property very well. What about vitamin C? So vitamin C is the gold standard, it is the best antioxidant, right? It is a water soluble, and it's when you supplement with vitamin C, it has been shown to preserve and protect the function of the endothelium, right? So endothelium, it is the lining of our muscle, our organ, every organ. So it is the endothelium. So glutathione, it is again intracellular antioxidants, and it is present within the cell. So we must take the generally patients with coronary artery diseases have lower levels of glutathione within their cells than people whose arteries are healthy. So it indicates that we must take the nutrients needed for the cell to make more glutathione, like selenium, vitamin B2, niacin, right? So this is all about the true prevention. As I already told you that bioflavonoids and flavonoids, that is a green tea, it contains the flavonoids. So bioflavonoids are the rich source of fruits and vegetables. Whatever the or whatever the colorful foods and vegetables you are observing around you, so all it contains bioflavonoids. So all it is essential. You must have on seasonal basis. So you must get the nutrients which is required for the body to get work done properly on daily basis. So here is a rule of thumb that I already told you. More varied the color of your fruits and vegetables, the greater variety of bioflavonoids you will get. So grape juice, red wine have a product called polyphenols, for example, and some grapeseed extracts. So it helps in the antioxidant property. So coming to the diseases of the heart muscles, as we have already discussed about the cholesterol. So, so heart muscles, generally congestive heart failure and the cardiomyopathy are the diseases of the heart muscles. So is there any nutrient which there is a role to play for that nutrients in the treatment of heart diseases or the prevention of heart disease? Yes, it is there. For the prevention of heart disease, there are nutrients responsible for them. I tell you, research says that if you are taking coenzyme Q10 and other nutrients in a right amount, then there are some preventive role of heart disease. Or in while treating also, you must take these nutrients so as to avoid the side effects. Coenzyme Q10, it is a fat soluble vitamin. So it requires our trace amount of coenzyme Q10 exists in a variety of foods, such as meats, beef, soya oil, sardines, mackerel. Sardines and mackerels are the fish source of coenzyme Q10, and peanuts. So these are the source of Q10. These are the source of Q10, right? Coenzyme Q10. So from which you can get the traces amount, right? You can't think these are the micronutrients. So you must require as traces only, but it is required, right? The body also has the ability to make coenzyme Q10 from the amino acid tyrosine. But this is a complicated process that requires at least 8 vitamins and several trace minerals to complete it. So you must take it from the food source. So coenzyme Q10 deficiency, the literature says that if it is deficient, then it has play to role in heart failure. So it has been noted in cancer, heart disease, and diabetes that deficit in coenzyme Q10, there is linking between these diseases and coenzyme Q10. So these are the sources of coenzyme Q10. Coming to the another disorder, which nutrients has a major role to play, cataracts. As we all know this, in society we see, in our community, in our family we see. So as our age, we are growing, then at the age of 60 years, so there are chances of formation of cataracts. Why? Because the lens of the eye, which collects and focuses the light on the retina, in order to perform its job properly, it must remain clear throughout our lifetime. But upon aging, the lens get damaged or opacities may occur. So it is leading to the age-related cataracts. So you can see in the image that lens get damaged because of some UV radiation or basically because of nutrients. So as we know from the childhood itself, we are hearing that we must get carrots so as to keep our eye healthy. That means we must get vitamin A, that is carotenoid. So why it is this our elders are saying like this, because we know we must take the vitamin A so as to keep our eye healthy, right? So this is the essential role of vitamin A to play in the cataract. If we are taking on daily basis, then our eye lens may get prevent from the formation of cataract. We may get the cataract, but we can lengthen that process or we can prolong it, right? So again, for this cataract formation, I told you there is a role to play of free radicals. So we must have to take antioxidants. When you see the surrounding or the fluid of eye, it contains the secretion which is full of vitamin C. You just search it out. It contains vitamin C. So we must get vitamin C. Why vitamin C? Because it is a gold standard antioxidant, right? So we must have antioxidants like glutathione peroxidase, catalase, superoxide dismutase, and vitamin C. So these vitamins are to has to play major role in the formation of cataract. So we can't ignore these nutrients, right? So as I told you, vitamin C it contains in a fluid, right, which is the water soluble, and other antioxidants found in this fluid are vitamin E, alpha lipoic acid, and beta carotene. That's why we must take it, right? So that's why there is a role of nutrition. We know everything, but we don't forget. When we have to eat the carrot, we don't have time to take the carrots. Why? Because we are in hurry. That's why the reason. The major, I need more 5 minutes to talk, right? So why I am taking this diabetes, because right now this is the situation throughout the globe. We are facing this lifestyle disorder diabetes, right? So diabetes we are getting. Why we are getting? We are just saying that it is lifestyle disorders. We are living happily with this. We are saying everyone is getting the diabetes. Like previously, every rich man getting the blood pressure. It is known as rich man's disease. Why? Because BP, as we know, it is related, not related with the this anything which is which is apart from, it is related with some your lifestyle. That's why these are known as blood pressure and diabetes. And diabetes is the disease which correlates or which uh, attracts other diseases also along with this diabetes. So it is very horrible disease, dangerous disease you can say. So why it is, we are facing the diabetes nowadays as a health challenge? Because we are not performing the exercise on routine basis. Our eating habits are changed. We are not taking the nutrition properly, right? Because of many reasons you can count it, but this you have to follow so as to not get the diabetes, right? So these are the some of the basic diet instructions. As not I'm not an instructor to give you a basic diet instructions, but these instructions, as you all know, I need not to tell anything about the basic diet instruction, as you all know. So these are the standard that you should exercise, you should take apple, you should have grains which contains the nutrients, right? You should take the proteins or the food source from which you should get the proteins, required proteins, right? You should have fibers, right? You should not take so much fat. So all these basic instructions are there. Why it is instructions? Because we are not taking a proper diet in a proper amount. We are taking only carbohydrates. We are forgetting the fibers, right? We are taking the sugars direct, high glycemic index sugars. But if you take sugar, 1 gram sugar, for example, and if you are taking an apple, so there is difference between taking an apple and taking sugar. Why? Because when you take the sugar, it get directly absorbed into the blood because it is high glycemic index food. But when you are taking the apple, it contains the sugar, but it contains fiber along with sugar. So fiber ultimately sustains the absorption of sugar inside your body. So what is happening? You are taking the apple, but sugar is getting into your systemic circulation, but in a sustained way. So that is the beauty of your fruit. That's why we should not take the sugar. Sugar, we have made the sugar, right? The source of sugar made by the God, but sugar made by the a human being. So that's why it is causing. But you should take it cautiously, right? Fruits are made by the God, but they are not hampering you, or they are not harmful for you. And supplementation. In order to stay healthy with respect to diabetes, if any patient is getting diabetic, he or she has to take these nutrients, micronutrients, along with their medicine. But if anyone is not got the diabetes, but for the prevention purpose, he or she must follow or must take these nutrients, so as to avoid the diabetes. So the nutrients are chromium. It has a role to play, right? There is one syndrome X is there. So diabetes nowadays, what is happening? I tell you just briefly. I think we are running out of time. So what is happening? Fats are responsible. Fatty person are vulnerable to get the diabetes. Why it is so? Because fatty cells, they are got resistance. They are got resistance to the insulin. Insulin, when any sugar, when you take inside your body, insulin get released into the systemic circulation so as to take that sugar to the site or to the cell. But what is happening? That cell is already fatty, so it is resistance to the insulin. So that sugar, it does not, or not able to enter into the cell. Why? Because it has got the resistance to the insulin. It does not recognize your insulin because it get fatty. So because that is the syndrome X, that is known as insulin resistance, and that insulin resistance you have to improve. If insulin resistance is improving by means of by means of doing the exercise. Again, vitamin E, It has role play because it is antioxidant. Magnesium has to play role. Vanadium has again to play role in the significantly, which increases the insulin sensitivity. Right? Insulin sensitivity has the role to play because it ultimately insulin, there is a insulin sensitivity term is there. Matlab, if the patient is having insulin resistance up to 5 to 10 years, it varies from person to person. We know already that the patient is suffering from insulin resistance. If we take the precaution at that time, then we can prolong the formation of diabetes in that person. So research already says that, right? So this is the addition in your knowledge. Thank you very much. Once again, I'm thankful for the IS University for the opportunity, that the great opportunity for me to share this nutrition related facts with the faculties and students of the IS University. Thank you very much. Back to Harpreet.
Thank you, sir. The session was immensely knowledgeable and apt for the current scenario. With this, let's begin with the question and answer session, for which I would request Dr. Satish Sarankar sir to please put forth the queries of our audiences in front of our keynote speaker. Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much, sir, for sharing this valuable information with us. We have got some questions from our audience. And the first question is that, do we have to go for keto diets or calorie deficient diet, as these are recommended by gyms nowadays?
Yes, generally we go for every health challenges, we don't visit to our dietitians. So there are a role, matlab, immense role to play for the dietitians here, because nutritionists are there, or you can say it is dietitian, which gives you a advice on the diet, what diet you should take. So when you are any disease, then also you can visit your nutritionist in order to take advice what diet I should take. Because we ignore the dietitians or nutritionists, we know that physicians are there to help you out, but we don't know. We know that nutritionists are there, but we never go to nutritionists. But we take advice from there from nutritionists so as to stay healthy.
Thank you, sir. Sir, second question I received is that, please suggest few tips to control thyroid and diabetes with the help of nutrition.
No, with respect to this diabetes and thyroids, there are some nutrients which you must take in order to control these conditions. As I already told, so protein, it is required on daily basis, because we are not taking the proteins in the right quantity. Protein, you can take the protein from the natural source you have to take. So we are taking it from the food source, and some supplements are also there. So we can take the supplements also. Proteins are there, then fibers are there, some multivitamins which contains the micronutrients, calcium, magnesium, then chromium, vanadium. So these all are required. So deficient in these nutrients causes these disorders. So we must take the supplements, or we must take these nutrients, or we have to identify the food source from which we get the nutrients, and we have to take these nutrients. Yes, back to.
Thank you. Sir, this question is from my side, that how do I know that I am getting all the nutrients I need daily basis?
Yeah, there are, when you are taking the food, then for example, protein. You can calculate, as I told you, that 1 gram of protein it is required per kg of your body weight. Say for example, your weight is 70 kg, you must get 70 kg, 70 gram of protein on daily basis. You can calculate, there is app is there. So when you put the information that food, this much of food I am taking in this much of quantity, so it directly calculates your the protein intake that you must take apart from your food, right? So you can calculate accordingly, or with respect to micronutrients, that is the calcium, magnesium. So these micronutrients, iron, so you can test for that. There is tests are there, so we can perform the test and you can know how much quantity of micronutrients are there in your blood. So accordingly you can take the supplements.
Thank you, sir. Sir, one more question I have received, that is, as most of us are indoor these days, how can we make up for the vitamin D deficiency through nutrients?
There are rich food source of nutrients are there. So we can have the fruits and vegetables which contains vitamin D is from vegetable source and animal source also. So we can take the vitamin D along with sun's exposure to the sun. It is the best source of vitamin D. So we can get it.
Thank you very much, sir, for replying the questions.
Thank you, sir. I would now request Dr. Satish Sarankar, sir, to conclude today's session by proposing a vote of thanks.
Thank you very much, Harpreet. On behalf of IS Institute of Pharmacy, IS University, I would like to take this opportunity to conclude the session with the vote of thanks. I hope you all enjoyed this immense learning session, as it was really an engrossing and fruitful session. On behalf of Department of Sciences, IS University Bhopal, I would like to thank you, our keynote speaker, Dr. Jyotiram Savle sir, Registrar IS University, for his thought-provoking and excellent presentation. I would like to express my deep gratitude to the Honorable Chancellor, Engineer B.S. Yadav sir, Pro-Chancellor Dr. Sunita Singh ma'am, and Sri Devan Singh sir, CEO, IS University, for their never-ending encouragement and guidance to organize such sessions. Thanks to the IS management team who made this lecture series a resounding success through their perfect teamwork. Last but not the least, thanks to all those who attended our